Yeah, you know what time it is. No scripts, no filters, no fear. We said what we said and meant that. Off the record. Off the record, yeah, we keep it real. No filter shit, we say what we feel. Politics, stories, truth on display. Come on. We talk that talk in our own way. Off the record, minion the God, let's go. Foxy to Roxy, 3 she go hard.
I swear on everything, that is exactly what he said right here in the studio.
That is the funniest thing I have heard all week.
So hard, busy with the facts she never miss. I said what I said, that's the twist. Off the record, yeah. Come and catch the vibe. Where real ones talk and the truth survive. Late night truth, we don't just speak. We pull the roots from what they keep. From pain to progress, we light the flame. No spin, no script, we call it by name. Minion bring the vision, Foxy bring the flame. Lizzie drop a cease, it'll never be the same. I said what I said, say it loud, no shame. We take the truth global, remember the name. No apologies, no disguise. Just soul and purpose in our eyes. We move with power, bold and free. Say it loud, you gon' feel this energy. This the realest show you ever saw. Off the record. We said what we said. Off the record. Yeah. Yeah. We said what we said. Off the record.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? It is your boy, Minion with Opinion, with my co-host, I Said What I Said, and welcome to Off the Record. What's good? I said what I said.
Everything is everything, Minion.
All right. Well, we have a really um interesting show, I would say, for today. So I hope you guys are ready, and I hope you guys are going to be putting some comments in the chat, because we definitely want to hear what you guys have to say on this one. But before we get into it, guys, can you do us a huge favor and hit the like button? Also, if you haven't done so already, subscribe to the channels, of course, Off the Record and I Said What I Said. Y'all hit the subscribe button and also turn on the notifications. But I guess we can jump into the show because we have a lot to discuss. I hope you guys are ready. But before we get into it, do we need to do any shout out?
Yeah, we need to do a little housekeeping.
Okay.
So we have Lady T-Bug in the house. Welcome, and thank you for joining us tonight. Happy Hunt Day.
What's good?
We also have X2 Complicated in the house. Welcome. And happy hump night to you too. That didn't sound right, did it? Happy
Look.
hump night. Hey, Shelly C, one of my first moderators. Thank you for being here tonight. Happy hump day. Good to see you, sis. And hello to you, Leo lady. Thank you for being here. And happy hump day to you too. And hello to you, Jackson Tabasco. Happy hump day to you also.
What's
So
good?
hey, we got some people interested in these politics tonight.
I know that's right. Well, we interested too.
And also too, I know in our state and other states around the United States. I would just want to encourage everybody to make sure you can to find out when your early vote start and go vote early. Because I actually went today and it was pretty busy, and I was shocked to see that many people there.
Maybe we should cover the early voting like numbers, the turnout and stuff. So
Hmm.
we'll
Yeah,
keep
we're gonna definitely start trying to get those stats because I do like to keep up with the races also.
for sure, for sure. All right, well, Nick Fuentes, our favorite, right?
All right, Nick is crazy.
Oh my God. And I don't know, he kind of makes a little sense in this little rant that he just did. So y'all let us know what y'all think. But
Well, I'm just talking about his mannerisms, though. The way he's being all animated. But I like to watch him. Do his thing.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, ain't mad at him.
He got me looking now.
Hmm.
So the Epstein files are going to destroy the Trump movement, and good. They should. The Trump movement deserves to be destroyed, and something else needs to be born from it. Something else needs to grow in its place, something stronger, tougher, harder, more severe. And it's not JD Vance, I'll tell you that much. Where and it's not JD Vance.
Oh,
By the way, where's our good pal JD?
what's going on?
I don't know. Did the whole video stop?
Yeah.
Hmm.
Okay, let's see here.
Destroy the Trump movement, and good. They should. The Trump movement is the real deal. Everybody keeps telling me, no, I've talked to him and he's legit. No, I trust him. No, I think he's good. I think he's the real deal. Oh, really? Why? Because he did a photo op with Charlie Kirk's casket? Why? Because he threw himself in front of the cameras every opportunity on immigration, on the issues for the base, because he was at the Turning Point convention. Where is JD Vance, the whisperer to the base? Where is he on the Epstein files? He's pulling up Bronze Age pervert GPT to try to find the base thing to say about this, isn't he? Like everything else, he's trying to go to the AI model that was trained on BAP and Raw Egg Nationalist that was funded by Peter Thiel, and he's trying to find the LLM that's going to tell him what to say about the files. Where is it? It's not in Palladium. Where is it? Where's my hot take? Where's my hot take for the base chuds on the Epstein files? I'm not getting it. It's not coming up. Where is fat chud JD Vance that just wants to drink Code Red and play Halo with you on this one? Is he going to prosecute Les Wexner? Is he going to speak out against Howard Lutnick? Is he going to push the DOJ for accountability, or is he going to defer to President Trump on this one, like he does with everything?
Pause it for a sec.
Idiot.
All right.
And shout out to Purge Viral for allowing us to use your video, and to Nick Fuentes for allowing us to just look at you just go off. Um, Nick really trying to burn down the whole house. Do you believe that?
I think he
What is he
yeah.
doing?
Yeah, I think he fed up. I think he's like, you know what? Fuck this. Trump is getting all the he is enriching himself. He's getting all the benefits, but like, you know, the regular average person, we thought you was gonna go in and tear down the establishment. Now you are the establishment, and now you got to be torn down. So I think that's his stance right now.
Child, yeah, he going all the way off, and so it seems like a lot of people are upset because things are not going the way that they thought they were gonna go. So Nick is definitely on his tangent. And hello to you, Francis. Thank you for joining us tonight. Hello to we had some few more people join in. Riz Rocket, William Wise. Hello to you. And hello to you, Patty Patty. Thank you guys for joining us tonight. Good to see everybody.
Absolutely. What's good, everybody?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Leo lady, in case I didn't say her name. Huh?
he fed up. He
Yeah,
like,
yeah. Nick tired. Nick said he tired and things ain't happening the way he wanted them to go. And so at this point, I guess he gonna burn it all down. And that's what it looks like to me. Well, as much as he can. But I think
I'm telling you,
yeah, he look at him.
he might want to pipe down a little bit though. I'm just saying.
He gonna be the next Charlie.
this Epstein thing, this is the albatross. This is the rotting, infected wound in the center of the Trump movement. It is going to kill it slowly, and I cannot wait. Cannot wait. I hope the Epstein scandal costs them the midterms. I hope it allows Democrats to impeach and indict and subpoena every member of this Trump government. And I hope that this goes on until 2028. And I hope that this piece of shit Trump administration brings down JD Vance with it.
Ooh.
I fantasize about the Trump administration being a burning building and JD Vance is chained to the mattress and he's going to burn with it. I cannot wait because it couldn't happen to a more deserving person and group of people than these. That's my hope. That is my aspiration. And out of the ashes of this disaster, we can actually get something real.
Dude, what? Oh my God, bro. Calm down, Nick. Calm down. I knew Nick hated JD Vance, but then it was like this bad, bro. Calm down, man. But I mean, I kind of agree with the fact that JD Vance is like such a plant. That's why I always call him JD Plant, because who is this guy even? We barely know anything about him. He changed his name multiple times. He is just a puppet of Peter Thiel. He was first an anti-Trumper, and now he is suddenly like his biggest supporter. This guy should first like introduce himself to the people instead of literally thinking that he will become our next president, because the majority of the people where I've spoken with, they don't even know who JD Vance is. They don't even want to vote for him because he is such a plant.
I mean, that wears, eyeliner and a smoky eye. But so is this what the MAGA, this is what the MAGA movement has been reduced to? JD Vance and Marco Rubio?
Well, where else can it go? Because Trump is leaving. And so, he only have 3 more years. So, I mean, where else is it going to go?
I mean, but is that, I don't know. MAGA got to tell us, because at this point, they are really the only ones that could actually, he could pass the baton to, but it's pretty sad.
Well, it seemed like an infight, look like the family having a fight right now. And so.
And this guy, he's MAGA too, right? The one that's
No,
oh.
he's a groper, a
Oh.
griper, a groper, or whatever he called himself. He got another following.
Oh, okay.
But he used to have MAGA ideology, somewhat, I guess. But he's really upset about the Epstein files because, that's what Trump ran on.
Right. Like
And
he was
so,
gonna
and really,
expose the Epstein class people, the
Mhm.
elites.
And he's trying to hold him accountable for all the things that he said he was going to do, on the
Right.
campaign. So really, Nick ain't really, he really have cause to call it out because he's not getting anything that was on the campaign promises. Nothing is being done that was promised to be done.
Right.
So
Right.
that's what we're looking at.
In fact, it feels like a cover up.
Nick sees that also.
Right.
is gonna act like I'm the America first. I'm the MAGA guy. Dude, you are not. We barely know anything about you. You're a puppet of Peter Thiel. Peter Thiel is not America first. And you should first introduce yourself, buddy. Who are you, JD Vance?
We can actually get something new, something different. We could get somebody, maybe it's a dark horse, maybe it's somebody nobody's talking about yet, but we could get a different kind of candidate that's actually going to do the job. That's my aspiration. That's my hope here. And mark my words, that is what's going to happen. Democrats are going to ride this one. They are going to bring the House of Cards down, and they're going to bring it down on fat-ass JD Vance. You played yourself, Tucker. Tucker played himself on this one. Tucker and Vance, all these people, Peter Thiel, they played themselves.
Uh-oh.
You know, I can't destroy the Thiel network, but he can, Jeffrey Epstein.
He's spitting
And
all the
you wonder
tea.
why we stand Epstein. You wonder why we wear the quarter zip. You know, I can't bring down the controlled Trump puppet government. I can't.
Yeah, I mean, these are just rich people basically getting richer off of Donald Trump. So, you know, and it's only because of Donald Trump that they're getting richer. And we're getting the short end of the stick.
Exactly. The rest of America is getting, you know, the very short end of the politics stick, baby.
The crumbs.
The crumbs.
I wouldn't even say the crumbs. Like, we
getting the stain that the popsicle leave on the stick.
Yeah.
That's what we're getting.
Bring down the entity known as JD Vance, but he can. Jeffrey Epstein in the background, but he can. Jeffrey Epstein, if you can hear, from beyond the grave, Jeffrey Epstein is going to bring down the Trump edifice, and the roof will cave in on top of JD Vance and that whole fake bullshit thing they're trying to foist upon us. It's perfect. It's poetic. I'm here for it. And you know what? Here's the best part. It doesn't even need to be this way. At any time, they could reverse this.
Right.
Don't you realize that? At any point in time, the Trump administration could reverse this, and they could have a golden age. How? Fire Howard Lutnick. Indict Les Wexner. Release the files. Feed these people to the sharks, not yourself. If Trump were smart, he would feed them to the wolves instead of going down with the ship. It doesn't have to be this way.
Exactly.
If Trump unredacted all the files, if he came out on Truth Social tomorrow and said, you know.
See, the truth is what he's saying is right, but that would only mean that Donald Trump didn't do anything wrong in the files either. So he's hedging on the fact that Donald Trump is exonerated and didn't do anything wrong.
Exactly. That's the assumption. Yeah, he's in there, and they called on the tip hotline, and they're just emails, but we don't really have, any hard evidence against him.
Right.
And
So if y'all don't have any hard evidence against him,
release
y'all just
everything.
gotta take everybody else down. It is what it is. Whoever go down, go down. Democrat, Republican alike, just release the
Shouldn't have
files.
been over there.
Right. let the fire burn. But
Right. Shouldn't have went.
let's just keep listening because I got a few things I feel, but let's hear what he got to say.
What? Enough bullshit. Pam Bondi, release every file, unredact everything. We'll indict everybody. We'll fire anybody that's named in there. The approval would flip overnight. Overnight. Trump's approval with 18 to 29s would soar. Favorability would soar. Job approval would soar. Overnight, it would be corrected and he would be seen as a hero. All he has to do, cut the foreign aid to Israel, call up Netanyahu and say, we are standing with Iran. We are standing with our other allies, Turkey, Egypt, Emirates, Qatar, Pakistan, Oman, and soon to be Iran. We are not bombing them. We're not doing another Middle Eastern war. As a matter of fact, we're doing regime change in Israel. When is Israel going to hold the new election? And when are you actually going to see justice? We'll stand behind our European allies, France, UK, Portugal, Spain, Ireland, Germany, Italy, calling for accountability for Israel. Trump did those two things.
Obviously, he's being facetious because he knows that Trump would never ever be able to do that when it comes to, Israel and his ties to Israel. He's like Israel's property at this point. That's he's like Israel's puppet. But even let's just take that out the equation. If they were to release the Epstein files, it is my wholehearted belief that Trump would be doing 4 life sentences in jail for what he has done. What will be revealed in them files? Because you can't tell me no different. You can't tell me that this cover up at this magnitude, like this is insane.
On this level, Congress don't even. Congress, the files are still redacted from Congress. Now, how is that? Normally they don't let the American public see everything, which the bill says that they were gonna allow us to see everything. Everything was gonna be unredacted, remember? And all they was because the law says everything need to be unredacted except for the victims.
Except for the victims.
And the underage people, right?
Yep.
They went in there and redacted everybody.
Everybody except
the victims and the underage people.
So the level of cover up on this is like, if this was happening in any other time, in any other era, these people would be under the jail. So I mean, you gotta say there has to be something there. He has to be hiding something.
Something has to be going on. We don't know what, allegedly, but
But these actions
it's something, because they don't want to show the files and they don't want to release all of the files, because if he can be exonerated, which that's what he's going around claiming, saying that he's exonerated at this point, right?
Right.
And so
self-proclaim. I mean, how you going to exonerate yourself?
Well, listen now. We do what we want to do now.
Yeah, in Trump's world,
Yeah. It's your thing. You can do what you want to do.
He gonna tell y'all what the truth is. He gonna tell y'all what history is. Just like he decided to wipe out slavery out the Philadelphia White House. He gonna tell you what to believe. And you gotta go with it.
He rewriting the whole everything.
Right.
But he did say only him.
Reality.
He did say only him and him alone can fix this whole mess. So I guess that's part of the fixing.
I guess at this point we living in Trump's world, because
he would cement his legacy as one of the great presidents of all time. He would be the people's champion. He would be America first. He could do it.
What's up, Saint?
He's the president of the United States. And the next move, you do all that, you get enough political capital, you get rid of the filibuster rule, you do the nuclear option, you get rid of the filibuster, and then you jam through voting reform. You jam through nationwide voter ID, and Republicans never lose an election again. You jam through mandatory E-Verify. You deport 5 million illegals in 4 years. Like, it could be done. You're the president.
Of course, the majority of the
Right.
people in this country, they would love to see this. But do you really believe that Donald Trump can do this? No. And that also shows you that Donald Trump is not actually the guy who is in power in our country. He is the puppet of his biggest donors, the same as
Oh,
JD Vance, aka
oh,
JD Plant, is just a puppet of Peter Thiel. Donald Trump
damn.
has to do what his biggest donors want him to do. And do you
That's
really
just what
believe
I
his
just
biggest donors
said.
want this? For example, he got $200 million from Miriam Adelson. He got money from Larry Ellison. We all know those people, they're not America first. They're loyal to another country. So do you really think that they will allow Donald Trump to do all these kind of things? Of course not. They will never. They want completely the opposite. The people of this country, they want to have America first politics, but his biggest donors doesn't want that. And that just shows you that, of course, no matter who we choose, in my opinion, does it really make a difference? I don't know, because Donald Trump said that he was America first, that he would do so many things. He promised us so many things. He didn't deliver. But I believe, again, in my opinion, this has everything to do with his biggest donors, because he just has to do, he owns them something, right? If Miriam Adelson gives Donald
Right.
Trump $200 million, do you really think she doesn't want something back? Of course she wants that. And this is what we are seeing now, day after day. And this is what makes it so sad.
You are the president. You have the power. You're in the chair. You're in the office. But they won't. These are the two realities that we could inhabit. Either one, Trump goes down with world, he goes down with the ship, he goes down with Israel and Les Wexner and Jeff Epstein and Howard Lutnick and this sick shit, or he could do the right thing. And maybe that's idealistic and maybe that's naive. But you're the president. You could take a stand. You could hunker down in the White House. You could get your Secret Service and you can make it a fortress and you can lean in. That's really what it is. So this is your Pam Bondi situation. What a joke. That's your attorney general. You
Right.
should feel embarrassed. You should feel humiliated. Trump promised most transparent administration. We're going to release the Epstein files. We're going to put
He
America
going one by one, ain't he?
first line.
Yeah.
And now
Yeah.
you've got Epstein. You've got Ronald Lauder in the files. Leon Black's kid is running the Development Finance Corporation. Ronald Lauder's kid is going to be the chair of the Federal Reserve. Howard Lutnick is the Commerce Secretary. All these guys are on the board for peace in Gaza. Joe Lonsdale's working with Benjamin Black on the DFC. Peter Thiel invested $40 million with Epstein. And his guy Vance is the vice president. Like, it's so entrenched. They told you they were going to release the files, and now you got your attorney general defending all of that. Who would have thought? Who would have thought in 2016, when Trump was saying the war in Iraq was a mistake and we're going to build a wall and all this kind of stuff, who would have thought Trump would be the one to deliver the decisive blow, the regime change war against Iran that Israel always wanted? It's so backwards. Who would have thought that Trump would be the one to protect the ultimate insider, Jeffrey Epstein? Talk about a swamp. Who would have thought?
Who would have thought?
So that's the state of the play. That's your Pam Bondi. Who could even defend that? Where's John Doyle? Where's Patrick Casey? You going to defend that performance? You fucking idiots. I look at a guy like John Doyle from Blaze TV.
You know, when I think about all the Trump supporters, I always hear, this is what I hear. We were rooting for you. We were really rooting for you.
Well, let me just say this. It's just, it's kind of refreshing, to hear someone actually speak the truth, because, that's kind of, a rarity these days that people actually speak the truth. And so for him to sit here and call everything out, now, he got a lot of theatrics with it, but, it's Nick.
Right.
But, he's actually he really speaking the truth for real. I don't see anything that he's lied about so far. Have you?
the fact that he hitting on so many things is the reason why you really can't even respond. We gotta just let him cook because it's fact after fact after fact.
Right. And he's just racking them and stacking them, and he really he really is mad.
Yeah.
And I guess, he really believed, and I'm pretty sure a lot of the supporters, a lot of people are mad because they're not getting what they want. But all I can say is just welcome to our world because we never get anything. So,
Right.
on
Right.
on the cool.
Yeah. It's another day being black.
Right.
TV. He
Welcome.
literally got
What you say?
I was just gonna say welcome, welcome, welcome.
Right.
hired to be a goyish version of me. That's what you are. You are a skin-suited, goyish version of me. You are the version of me that is paid by Glenn Beck, the wannabe, because you're never going to criticize Israel. You're going to glaze Trump. And Doyle's job on Goy TV, on Blaze TV, is to glaze Trump. It's like Glaze TV. Your job is to go in and day out and say, here's why Trump is the end-all be-all. Here's why voting Republican. What do you have to say about this? Pam Bondi goes there and says, what about the Dow? She's a fucking idiot, and Trump hired her. And there is something in the Epstein files, and they are covering it up, obviously. What do you have to say about Les Wexner? What do you have to say about these people being involved in this? And they say, oh, it's a Democrat hoax. It's a big nothing burger. Do you even believe yourself? Do you even believe what you're saying? They have been memed into being these like Republican creatures. Once upon a time, Trump was an outsider that blew up the establishment in both parties. Now Trump is the Republican establishment, and you are just on the hamster wheel now.
Wow, like this is so true. This is so true. Nick is spot on. Trump, you remember, we're gonna drain the swamp. Dude, Donald Trump is part of the swamp. He is maybe the leader of the swamp, or his biggest donors are. And this is so true. I also don't understand, and I said this multiple times in all my videos, no matter what Trump does, what Donald Trump's team does, you will always have these fanatic MAGA supporters. They will always support him. But you should really ask yourself, at this point, how many disasters did this administration gave us already? How many disasters? Day after day, we have a new disaster. We have a new cover-up. They're just lying straight into our face. And you still have so many people who will literally defend Donald Trump no matter what he does. I'm always like, when do these people finally, when will they wake up? When will they say, all right, this has been enough. Now it is enough. Where is your border? Excuse me. Like I said, I really supported Donald Trump in the beginning. Just like
Ain't no border. They gonna go. They gonna push the goalposts as far as they need to push that bitch to make sure that they can stay in line with Trump, no matter how hateful, no matter how crazy, no matter how radical, no matter how cruel the shit get. They are. Didn't the man just unalive his daughter over
Mhm.
Trump?
He did, yes. Unfortunately, yeah, which is crazy.
Yeah, these people are going all in
Right,
on the
uh,
Trump cult.
right.
And they
Uh,
and Trump Sting files be damn. Who gives a we don't care. We all pedophiles up in this group. Cause guess what? Every last one of them in that administration, for the most part, has some type of tie to these files.
mm-hmm.
It's crazy how entrenched our administration is to the Epstein files. Not Hollywood, where that would be understandable. But our government is the ones that are entrenched into the Epstein files and are engaging in the largest cover up in American history.
And no one is doing anything about it.
And we acting like this is entertainment
Hmm. Or normal.
or normal.
Nick said. But at some point, I can't anymore. I can't anymore. He made so many mistakes, this whole administration, and also it's easy to blame it. Oh, but it's the Democrats who did this. It was a Democratic hoax. No, it isn't. It isn't. This administration tried to cover this up for so long, and just take a look, for example, at Pam Bondi. Like, do I have to say anything more? Just take a... She is talking about the Dow Jones. She is talking about the stock market. Meanwhile, she is like... She has to ask or give answers about the Epstein files. Like, you could not make this up, right? Come on, I cannot defend these kind of people. But again, this is just my opinion. But if you still support Trump, I'm just very curious. Why? Please tell me why. After all this, seriously, just like, you should think about it, dude. Seriously.
You're just on the wheel. You are on the treadmill, forever chasing the reward that will never arrive. We'll get him in the next one, right? Isn't that right? You know, before the election, this is the most important election ever. This is the one. It's going to be different this time. Then you're in it. Ah, well, we know it's not everything you wanted, but, you know, we got to help him finish the job. We got to vote in the next one, right? You are literally a mouse. You are a hamster on a wheel chasing a reward. You are a mouse on a wheel chasing a block of cheese. 2016, we're going to make America great again. 2018, you know, we didn't even get started on that wall. But that's because we just need more votes. 2020, okay, we didn't build anything. Well, you got to vote for us. We can keep it great. 2022, well, you know, we didn't even try to have election integrity or anything. We got to hold the line or the Democrats are going to eat our lunch. 2024, golden age. 2026, well, we got to get back on track. We need another vote. Yep, just keep running. Just keep running. Just keep running. Just keep running on that wheel, running on the treadmill. You'll get the cheese eventually. You'll get the reward. In the meantime,
Spilling the tea, baby. Spilling the tea.
everything they want. You know, they got their corporate tax cut. That's been a done deal for 10 years.
Yeah.
Yo, think about that. We can't get a stinking wall built. You know how much a border wall costs? It costs $17 billion. Do you know how much a corporate tax rate cut costs? Like $800 billion. You know, like think of it. 10 years ago, Trump said, we're going to build a wall and Mexico will pay for it. That costs $17 billion. You know how much it costs to cut corporate taxes 10% for 10 years? Like $500 billion. And we've had it for 10 years.
Wow.
Think about that. You know how much money we've given Israel in the past 10 years? $38 billion. You know how much we gave them last year? $25 billion. So you're chasing that reward on the hamster wheel. And meanwhile, AI gets their regulation moratorium. Wall Street gets their corporate tax cut. They get their lower interest rate. They get their COVID bailout. Israel gets their aid, their missiles, their war. You see, this is the problem. Anyway.
Everybody eating off
that's
us.
That. You know, and they say, well, we can't do deportations because it's unpopular. Then they cover up the Epstein files, right? We can't do deportations. It's too unpopular. Then they cover up the Epstein files, you know? DHS just gets finished. We got to draw down ICE. We're not going to deport anybody at all. Just the worst criminals ever because it's too unpopular. Then they walk down the hall and they say, you're out of order. Jeffrey Epstein was a model citizen and Howard Lutnick did nothing wrong. It's like, okay, you're being lied to and you are being right. You know, we're just so sorry. We cannot deport 10 million people. Too unpopular and like we don't have the money and it just can't happen.
Right.
Covering up the Epstein files like your life depends on it. Hey, say no more. It will be done. It will be done, my lord. I pledge myself to your teachings, Lord Wexner. Like this is how it is. So, unless and until the base rises up of middle American radicals and puts their foot down and says, we're not voting for any of it, And I think here's
Middle
my
American
playbook,
radicals.
okay? This is the future. You know where this is headed?
Why does everybody got to be a radical though? Like, why can't people just be regular people that just don't want to deal with all this bullshit?
And have a little critical thinking,
Right.
Some people think about things, some people are organized, and some people get things together. They don't just go out on a limb and a whim and some people don't a lot of people don't live their lives that way. Some people have structure in their life.
And prefer it that way
Yeah.
instead of chaos every fucking day.
Right.
Uh, somebody said let's read some of these chats. So I guess we can spend some time reading a few of the chats.
Yeah, and we're probably done with Nick. We don't have to do all of it, do we?
Nah, nah. So let's see what the
That's
people.
enough for Nick.
That's enough for Nick.
Yeah, let's go ahead and read some comments and go into the next video.
Okay, okay. Let's see what people are saying. This guy needs to be Alex Good. Okay. Pedo in chief. All politicians are bad people, but I choose Trump's policies over Kamala and Joe's. They're all working for the devil in some capacity. I mean, but why would you choose Trump's? Because Trump's is more pro-white American, or I mean, what's your reason for choosing Trump's over Kamala's? Don't listen to Fuentes either. His rhetoric is initially hateful, extremely anti American, and he believes in autocracy and allowing church and state to operate together. Look, I don't believe or follow this guy, but when you are telling the truth and when what you say, look, you can't deny what's coming out of his mouth. I mean, it's all fact based. I mean, you can prove it. So, it's not about me just taking him at his word. We all know that Israel has a hand over Donald Trump, and if you don't know it, you're lying to yourself. You're not even, because it's completely evident. Let's see. And you're in a Nazi world, sure. Let's see, what did we say? CNO733 says, be radical. Trust me, the Jews are as radical as possible and they hate you. Something to think about. Middle America infrastructure is too behind. The money is on the coast. I I I believe that.
And I'm so tired of the racism. I mean, everything has to be about racism. With that comment about Jews.
Well, I think what he means is the people who are the donors, not
Yeah.
regular,
Okay.
Jews, but the
Oh.
people who are over Trump are Jewish, is
Mm-hmm.
what he's saying. So,
Yeah. And I
um,
think
and
Fuentes
they're
is
very
too, though.
evil people, is what a lot of people are saying. Like those people, not the regular ones,
Okay.
but the ones with power are the ones that are like really demented and they do some crazy stuff. So
Well, it seems like it's a combination of all people to me. I
that's true.
understand a lot of those donors, are Jewish, but I see a sprinkle of everybody just doing some wrong, and it's like we're having a big party.
It's not a
Okay.
race thing. It feels like a class thing. When you get
Yeah.
to a certain class or when you get to a certain, level of wealth,
Uh
you
huh.
start doing some crazy, outlandish, demented, twisted stuff. People get into some crazy stuff when you get that far up in the tax bracket, I guess. And that's why I feel like people shouldn't even be allowed to have that much wealth.
All right.
Because what are you doing with it? What do you need that much wealth for?
I guess to show the worst of yourself. Seem like that's what's going on.
Because that's all it does is afford you the ability to cover up your lifestyle and live above the law. That's all it does. When you make that much money, you might
Hmm.
as well just say you're above the law.
Yeah. Well, it does value that though. It does, because we're living through that right now. That some people are above the law and they don't have to worry about justice because just like remember we were talking about the guy that unalived his daughter because of Trump, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, he didn't even get nothing happened to him. He didn't get arrested or anything.
Wow. It's crazy.
So it's like some people can get like if you're in the quote unquote, group, MAGA group or whatever, you are exempt. Not all MAGA, but some is, depending on, where they're located.
Well, we're going to also watch this Newsnight panel of mostly females. So they're going to go up against a MAGA or two MAGA pundits, and hopefully you guys are entertained. Y'all hit the like button.
Democrats want to see a fighter. Decorum is over with. Clutching of the pearls.
Who would
going
that be?
high.
Anybody in mind?
Yeah, I've just named them. Representative Garcia, Jasmine Crockett, who I know Republicans love talking about 24 hours a day. Governor Newsom, who Donald Trump can't seem to stop talking about.
Newsom?
Yeah, he gives them to a real good. He makes y'all real upset. He
Wow.
makes y'all real upset. Taylor Figaro here that loves giving it to you the
Let's
same
Rubbed it in, ain't she?
You want to put that guy in charge of America?
No, I didn't
She said, "Oh yeah, they make y'all. Ooh yeah, he make you real upset, don't he? Yeah, she like that. Yeah, look at her.
say
Fix
that.
California.
No, I didn't
ahead,
say
Lee.
that. I said bring the same energy.
I
Two
like
different
that guy,
things.
but
Yeah.
he can't manage his way out of a wet paper bag.
Well, he sure got Trump talking 24 hours a day.
I think
no, everybody doesn't always break the law and go to prison. See, that's where you've been so focused on the Dow and haven't been focused on what's actually happening.
I'm focused on breaking the law.
No.
You
and
shouldn't
I'm focused
break the law
and
if
I'm
you
focused
want to
on,
stay out
and
of
I'm
prison.
focused on something called due process and focused on people who get incarcerated before they're actually found guilty. Something called where people can't
So you're
afford
okay
bail.
if somebody murders
No,
somebody
I didn't say
and they
that.
shouldn't
I didn't
go
say
to
nothing
prison?
about no murder. Here you go
Well, how
again,
about
picking
that?
up. Well,
You said
I'll
break
give
the
you a
law.
real time. No,
All right,
I didn't
let me
say break
just let
the law.
Teslin finish
I
her
said
thought.
that
I said
You
almost
break
out
the
of
law,
time.
you go to prison.
everybody don't break the law and just go to prison. It doesn't work that way. It may work that way. It may work that way. Yeah, they absolutely
Do
do.
they get a trial first? I think
Breaking
they do,
news.
actually.
No, they don't. See, that's where you're getting
Oh,
confused.
we're not in
That's where
America anymore.
That's right. Now you finally got
Good
a
for
round of
you.
applause.
What country are you
Now he
talking
finally
about?
the country that I've been living in.
Why he
ancestors have
touch
been
her
in.
like that
We
though?
know
Maybe cause she reading them. Look how
Yeah,
she reading them.
yeah.
That hasn't worked for you.
Kevin, hang on a
Goes
second.
back to the Dow.
Is we
Right.
have an appellate
It
court.
hasn't worked
Kevin,
for
hang
you.
on a
See,
second.
that's the system that has
Kevin,
worked
I
for
don't
you.
break the
That's
law.
not the system that
We are
hasn't
getting
worked for you.
derailed. Just
Yes.
Live at the table.
Yeah,
Lee
yeah.
McGowan,
Well,
Kevin
she said,
Teslin Figaro, Lydia Moynihan, and Ellie Honig.
Barack Obama is taking a swipe at President Trump and the rhetoric that's coming out of the current administration.
You say what?
well, he was trying to stop her and deflect, and she kept calling out his deflections, and she stayed on point, and he didn't like that. And so that's
Yeah.
why he was touching on her. You talking about why is he touching her? He trying to get her to be quiet.
Yeah,
to be
yeah.
quiet
Like
because
stop
she was
talking.
she was speaking too many facts for him.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Making him look real pathetic.
In a new interview, the former president addressed the racist video posted to Trump's Truth Social account that depicts him and former First Lady Michelle Obama as apes.
I think it's important to recognize that the majority of the American people find this behavior deeply troubling. There's this sort of clown show that's happening in social media and on television. There doesn't seem to be any shame about this among people who used to feel like you had to have some sort of decorum and a sense of propriety and respect for the office, right? So that's been lost.
So Teslin, is he right that most Americans are not down with this stuff?
I can't tell. What he is right about is that it is a clown show, and it's been lost. And unfortunately, I don't think it's ever coming back. I think that whether it's especially Democrats, have to adjust to the moment. This idea of wanting this bipartisan, let's all get along, let's hold hands. It's over with, Abby, to be quite honest with you. If they do not put people in, I say this all the time, if they do not put fight fire with fire and match the same energy on the other side, they're going to continue to get the table ran on them. And that's just the bottom facts. Content creators drive elections now. Podcast hosts drive elections now. The idea that I can just sit back and always be on the defense opposed to the offense is over with. I think that era's over with, and I would like to see leaders adjust.
So here's what Piers Morgan says in response to this. Preposterously disingenuous nonsense by Obama, the woke left has been the single meanest, angriest, exclusive, us, them, divisive movement in history. In history, he says. I would like to
really
offer
the people that are like, love who you want to love, be who you want to be, read what you want to read. That's the most
They're not mean enough, if you ask me.
Group in history.
They should be meaner.
I feel
Democrats get meaner.
I think the thing with the Obama thing is that it's such a sky is blue moment. The fact that it was posted was so deeply and disgustingly racist. Everyone should be able to say that without.
Period. And the fact that, you know, you have black people that actually attended this sick ass Black History event that Donald Trump called himself hosting, which we're going to get into. But the fact that this man can literally do no wrong, it doesn't matter the fact that he tries to remove slavery out of national, like George Washington's house.
Historic.
Historic.
Museum.
He think he's gonna wipe out all of the black history in America, and then these black raccoon ass motherfuckers get up here and think that them representing that they are MAGA Trump loving supporters make them or us look any better. Like they're getting anything out of it.
And everybody on the same footprint. That's the kicker.
That shit.
Only the rich people is getting richer, and they got everybody else fighting each other. And I call that a master plan.
He could have just said, "You want to know what? That was out of line. I did not see that, and you know, now that I see that, I definitely, you know, took the post down. Whatever the case may be. But if you know that you have offended a large majority of the people who you serve, why can't you just humble yourself and say, you know what, I'm sorry. That probably, I can see how that's offensive. That wasn't my intention. My bad."
Well, that.
But he said he didn't do anything wrong.
Yeah, I finished because he said he didn't do anything wrong. So, and you know, he never apologizes for anything. So, you know, let him tell it he's perfect and he never makes a mistake. So.
Caveat. The fact that Obama had to make a statement on it that wasn't just accepting Donald Trump's apology, to me, is appalling. And I just feel like everyone who's justifying what he did should be, you know, when used to be, shunned by civilized society.
Well, if I can ask both of you, I think Barack Obama took the high road there, right? Would you like to see him get lower, to your point earlier?
I would
you like to see him be meaner?
No. I think President Obama is who he is. He also talked about, which I know we'll discuss later on, how people have aged out. You know, their time is over.
He's right about that, yeah.
I think his era and the class era is over. I think you have other leaders, such as a Jasmine Crockett, for example, that is fighting fire with fire, that's giving it right back to Trump the same way he dishes it out. You have Governor Newsom, who is doing the same thing, whether you like his policy or not. We are now.
And exactly, I totally agree with her. But let me just address this particular comment. The Hidden Copes says, why should he apologize? Y'all never apologize to him for fucking shit. You don't deserve the apology. Laughing my ass off. Okay, so is that the standard that we hold for the president of the who has the highest office and the position in the land, in the world? Someone who can just get in the gutter with everybody else, in fact go lower, and that's okay?
And let's not forget, this is another ex-president whose approval rating is twice as high as his approval rating, more than likely, and allegedly. I haven't looked it up. The last time I looked it up, I think Obama was probably around 59-60% of the public still favor him versus the 34% Trump has. And so it's
Right.
like Obama's still living rent free in his head, and has been living rent free in his head, I guess, since 2004 4 when he 6, 8 when he
I
became the
guess so.
president. Whenever he became the president in 2000, I don't went from 6, 4. And I'm like, that's Bush time. But from 2008 to up until today, I feel like Obama's been just living in his head rent free, because he started out with saying that Obama didn't have a birth certificate.
Right, right. He couldn't
Hmm.
stand Obama.
Couldn't stand him at all. So ever since Obama stepped foot in that office,
But either way it go, the thing is, it's an offensive post.
it is very offensive.
And at the very least, black people deserve enough respect for you to say, okay, you know what? I was wrong. I was in the wrong. I owe you guys an apology. It's not about being a victim. It's about demanding respect from your president that a lot of these black people elected into office. So all this it's not about that. He should be respectful enough to know when he's about to offend somebody, and intelligent enough.
Now in an era where now people have to deal with it on a different level. So no, I think that the going high is over with. I think you get low, and matter of fact, get a little bit lower. And that's what people are responding to. So to keep sitting back saying, oh, I'm appalled and I just can't believe it. No.
And that's the standard that our president is setting for America,
Hmm.
because you can't go against him unless you go as low as he goes, or lower. That's the only way that you can go against this president, because that's the only way that he knows how to attack his enemies, is to go as low as he possibly can. And it's a standard that now, guess what? Y'all are saying, Democrats, if y'all can't go as low as he go, we don't want you.
Hmm.
What are we doing to America? What is America becoming? If this is where we're going, well, now we don't have no decorum. People talk reckless as the president.
Having fights in public, approaching people, just it's like everybody out of control.
This is chaos at the highest level. And if the president is who we are relying on to get shit together and to bring things in order, we are fucked. I mean, I don't understand how y'all can't see this.
Don't they put it on the table? It was a racist video. It was a racist trope that has been going on since the beginning of the inception of this country. It wasn't anything new to see black people as monkeys. That's been happening. What's happening now is on the forefront for everybody to see and discuss. So I think now you have to have a shift in leadership, or you're going to continue to see the same thing.
So, former President George W. Bush, this is President's Day, by the way. So he has a piece out on Substack that says, our first president could have remained all powerful, but chose not to twice. In doing so, he set a standard for all presidents to live up to. Washington modeled what it means to put the good of the nation over self-interest and selfish ambition. He embodied integrity and modeled why it's worth aspiring to. He carried himself with dignity and self-restraint, honoring the office without allowing it to become invested with near mythical powers. That's what back in the day we would have called a subtweet, directed at one Donald Trump. And it's not, it's not a new observation about the founding father, but I just wonder, I mean, is he right that Trump is really kind of pushing back and defying the George Washington model for the presidency?
Well, I read the essay and I thought it was a wonderful essay celebrating George Washington, who's an incredible founding father. And then I saw the headlines about Bush subtly jabs Trump. I didn't pick up on that at all from the essay. I think he's honoring a founding father on President's Day. I really, unless you really hate Trump, I don't think you would interpret it with that anti-Trump rhetoric.
Do you see the contrast? I mean, do you see the contrast?
I
mean, it's clear.
Buy into the idea that the office itself is above all the rhetoric and all the. George Washington didn't have to deal with social media.
This is stuff I don't like about this man right here. It's okay to get he's so full of shit. Now I like to believe that they're above all the rhetoric, but it's okay when Donald Trump is tweeting 150 tweets a night.
Right.
Like that he's not above the rhetoric.
Right.
Stop playing
in our face.
Right.
Okay. And try. And this is what you call trying to normalize it. This is the prime example of trying to normalize this chaos and this crazy.
Exactly.
This is not normal.
Exactly.
Presidents are supposed to be held at a higher standard. The American public look up to the president for guidance, for their steadiness, for the level-headedness, for the maturity. Really, their
ability to bring
to rule and run, not rule, but
to bring the nation together. Even though we all have different views,
right?
Even though we all come from different backgrounds, we're cut from different cloths. Our views, even though we're all American, our views are all different. But the president is the person that we elect to say, you want to know what? Despite all those differences, I'm going to be the one to still bring every last one of you guys forward. We're still all going to be able to come up. We're all going to be able to rise, even though we see differently, even though we can't see eye to eye all the time. You know what? It's still America first. And if you're an American, then I'm here for you.
And that includes everybody.
Period. It's always going to be two separate parties, obviously.
Right.
But we have never been divided to the point where, we have people getting shot in the middle of the street and other Americans are okay with that.
Right. That's crazy. That is crazy. And then come up with an excuse of why it was okay to do it.
Exactly. Which is even more disturbing.
I don't know. How low do you think the bar is going to get? How low do you feel like we're going to go? Because it don't seem like we're at bottom yet, in my opinion.
I mean, when you're dealing with a cult or a cult mindset, it's hard to determine what their bottom is, when they're going to break and say, you want to know what? I didn't sign up for this. It's hard to determine that.
Well, I'm beginning to see, that a lot of people are kind of changing their minds, though, because it's getting harder and harder to defend every day, too. Because not only do you have the crazy that goes on every day, the unorthodox or something, new precedent set, right?
Right.
You still have something crazy and that's coming out these Epstein files. So,
that is the only thing that could be the saving grace to waken the cult up. Because that is one of the things that they were hoping that they would get to be able to witness is the crumbling of this elite society, in this elite class. They thought that Trump was going to be the person who was going to completely obliterate the elite class and, help them become, get their piece of the pie.
Well, you're doing a pretty good job of it. Shit. That's all I got to say.
There was none. And so those words are very inspiring, but we're in different times now. And I think the important thing to do, at least from my perspective, is I watch all this, whatever you want to call it, and I ask myself, is there any policy?
Look at her. She look like don't she look like
gone.
I want her to stay with MAGA. Please don't go to the Democrats.
Really, what
she looked like a mad woman.
Some guidance on
she just totally drinking this
next affects their lives. And I think it's important to respect the office. I always have, and I'm trying to be bipartisan when I say this. But there's a lot of things that we focus on that really have nothing to do with the average person's day. And I think they need more respect. I deal with them. I've got all these companies with people struggling to survive. And we hit them with crazy stuff. And it doesn't help put cereal in the bowl.
Well, I think that may be why people are wondering why Trump keeps wanting to name things after himself, why he's focused on building ballrooms.
That's what all real estate guys
Can I say this?
Yeah, but I mean, this is
what all presidents do. And I think that's the point about the Washington thing, right?
Contrast.
It's the thing about George Washington.
Forget about social media. George Washington could have decided to model himself after a king.
Can I say this,
Could've.
Pat, because George Washington is long gone. Representative Garcia, shout out to him last week. I put that one post on my post. I only have about 200,000 followers. Over 15 million people looked at that post from Representative Garcia, was giving it back to Pam Bondi the same way she was dishing it out. Things that still need to be handled, food on the table, all of those things. Democrats want to see a fighter. Decorum is over with. Clutching of the pearls.
Who would
going
that be?
high.
Anybody in mind?
Yeah, I just named them. Representative Garcia, Jasmine Crockett, who I know Republicans love talking about 24 hours a day. Governor Newsom, who Donald Trump can't seem to stop talking
Governor
about.
Newsom?
Yeah, he gives them to her real good. He makes y'all real upset. He makes y'all real upset. Tesla and Figaro here that loves giving it to you the same way
on
you
a
dish it.
bipartisan
So
basis, you want to put that guy in charge of America?
No,
He
I
can't
didn't
even
say
fix
that.
California.
No, I didn't say that. I said bring the same energy.
I
Two
like
different
that guy,
things.
but he can't manage his way out of a wet paper bag.
Well, he sure got Trump talking 24 hours a day.
I think the point about that George W. Bush essay is that it's a president looking back and being inspired by his predecessors. And I think that what we're looking at here is this lack of humility that we have from our current president. And what George W. Bush was saying, it's important to have some set of humility when you are leading a country. That if you have nothing to learn, then you learn nothing. Like Washington did a lot of great things, but I think the most
There we go. Exactly.
Right. You
She
can call
hit
out the
the nail.
good and the bad. You don't have to, you're not going to agree with everything, but when it's something wrong, it's okay to call that out. And shout out to CNN for showing this clip, because I saw somebody in the chat saying that several people in the chat are, kind of putting CNN down. And they're saying that, nobody really watched them anymore. Well, CNN is just like, anything else. You're not going to like everything about it, but some parts of it you may like. And so that's what I watch. I watch the parts that I like with CNN. But shout out to them for allowing us to use their clip.
Okay, for sure. And then on top of that, this is one of the only shows that you can actually watch where you're getting both perspectives, because O'Leary is MAGA, the other woman is MAGA. They have equal opportunity to prove their talking points,
Mhm.
and O'Leary is using all of that opportunity to try to prove his talking point. It is just falling on deaf ears because it makes absolutely no sense and is completely disconnected from the American people and a regular person's everyday life experience. He thinks that him being a billionaire knows what the average American is looking for in their everyday life. Sir, have several, please, because you sound like a fucking fool.
No, he sounds like he's trying to protect his interests and his assets to me. So he
Well,
wants you to drink that Kool-Aid and believe that crap.
I don't think anybody believes that, not even MAGA. They know that this stuff that he is doing is affecting our day to day, our data, our cost of living. Groceries aren't going down. I just
Prices
went
ain't
grocery
going down.
shopping. So yeah, no.
Housing, cars, credit cards, nothing's going down. People living off of credit cards now,
Right.
to pay for everyday expenses.
important thing he did was willingly give up power when he didn't have to. And I think the contrast is we currently have a president who will try to keep power when he is supposed to go.
Yeah, the theme of George W. Bush's essay, which was excellent, was humility. It was just that. And I think everyone could use a little bit of humility. There's one of two ways we're going to go. Everyone's going to try to out Trump, in which case we'll end up one place, or everyone maybe will raise their game a little. But as Barack Obama was urging in that clip, as George W. Bush was urging in his essay, show a little bit of humility as we sit here on President's Day in the 250th year of this nation. Let's reflect a little bit on the lessons of the past.
While we bash all this stuff out, why is it that the world keeps investing in America and the Dow keeps hitting new highs every day? Is that not an index of what people think about the economy and the future of America?
No.
Every single week, a new high.
I think we agree.
If we compare.
So what would you change? What do you want to do?
Well, I think if you only look at America as based on how the economy and the Dow is doing, you're forgetting about the American
because
people.
that's what lifts us
There's
all
about
up.
10% of people who are
So
involved
you
in
want
the
a crap
Dow.
economy instead?
Why would that be the contrast?
You would
I want everyone to be involved in the economy.
Like everyone's involved in the
to
Dow.
say we don't need to care about Epstein because the Dow hit 50,000.
Right.
We don't
You
need
are
to care about
insane.
people's health care because the Dow.
What does that have
Had
to do
nothing to do with what they was asking
Talking
her.
about the stock market like it's the country.
No, I talk
And
about the
that's
American
not the
economy
same
and
thing.
jobs,
And it's not
jobs.
just the Dow. It's, inflation, core inflation
It's
is at
the
a 4-year
index of
low.
the American economy.
Real GDP is growing at the highest rate
And
in
people are
years.
being pulled out of their
Real
cars and
wages
shot
are
in the
growing.
head, and we're building concentration camps. There's lots of things that you could.
And it's crazy because this is the talk from, again, rich people who have no connection to the average everyday American who probably don't even know what the fucking Dow is.
Right.
What are you guys talking about right now?
say. It's not just how the economy is doing. And the problem that we got ourselves here
What
in
do
the
you
first
want,
place
China
is
instead?
because why do you say that? Why do I want China? I want the economy to
Concentration
crash, and I
camps.
want
You
to be China.
concentration camps.
No.
Let me take you over there.
Let me take you to West Virginia, where we're building them now. Like we're building 19 in America. You don't need to take
Tell him, sis. Tell him.
Okay, well, that is a segue. If I ever asked for one. Some states
Even
are
add
pretty
because
massive
every baby.
plan to build massive ICE detention centers.
And look,
And surprisingly, it's
here
the
we
red
go.
states that are saying no. Lawmakers and developers in Texas, Georgia, Mississippi, Oklahoma, Utah, Missouri, and Virginia are all resisting efforts by the White House to scoop up warehouses that will then be turned into ICE facilities. The Washington Post has reported that ICE plans to spend $38 billion with a B dollars to buy and convert more than a dozen buildings across the U.S., some housing as many as 10,000 detainees. I don't know that people really realize what kind.
That is insane.
What they detaining people for? I thought they was going to deport these people. Now it's deport, not detain.
Right, right. What are we doing now?
Do they not know the difference?
But no, this is just a money grab because
Yeah.
they're and she's going to show you. I think it's on this clip, how it's a money grab and the controversy behind the price that they're paying for these facilities, versus what these facilities actually are worth.
I was wondering why ICE needs such a big budget, but now I'm beginning to understand by and by.
Mm.
And Democrats shouldn't fund this at all. What you funding this shit for?
Concentration camps? What are we doing
Right,
now?
come on, what are we doing? What the hell? I don't care what I don't care, and that's one thing that I get upset about. Because I expect more from them. It's not about trying to get along with somebody or trying not to get along with someone, right? It's about doing right and what's wrong. And if they want to spend money on detention camps and take money away from healthcare and food subsidies and electricity subsidies, everything that the American public need. Also, these billionaires can make money because I guarantee they're privately owned, like our prisons are. And they're
They
all making
absolutely
money.
are.
And so they need somebody to fill up these camps because the whole thing about it was you were going to deport everybody. So if you're deporting people, you don't need 19 different concentration camps around the United States.
Let's be very clear. Let's be very, very clear on something. Because the American people, the average American person, before Donald Trump came up with all of these crises and all these
Right.
things that all of these other races and people of other ethnicities other than white are now doing to the American public never existed. These are all manufactured grievances so that he could cash in on the American racists and the American black person that don't love themselves, that will coon and shuck and jive to try to stay with stay in the white person's good graces. They're using that as just a trope and a way for those people to be able to be hateful and have a reason to be hateful. That's all it's giving you guys. Y'all are just like, okay, yeah. There and then just like DEI. DEI is another word for the N word. And we all already know it. So while y'all, and the funny thing about it is, and I know that you all know it. Everybody keep playing stupid and playing in our face like y'all don't know and y'all don't see what's really going on. But I
And,
know that y'all know it.
and then when you get upset about it or you want to fight back, oh, let's all just get along. And it's the Democrats that's doing everything. Meanwhile, they're gaslighting, that gaslighting is on 100. They just running amok through the country,
Exactly.
you know, spending up all our money. And got all of us fighting each other. That's the crazy part about it. And it's
And
the
now we're
oldest trick in the
spending our
book.
now we're going into a deeper debt because we're already 34, 36 trillion dollars in
Yeah,
debt
yeah.
with no way in sight of getting out of this debt. So
Mm-hmm.
eventually something's gonna happen. Something's gonna collapse.
Right.
So but
Yeah,
yet we
yeah,
can
she said
spend
unpatriotic. Yeah, you deemed unpatriotic when you push back, or they'll call you some derogatory name, because they can't handle the truth and they don't want to talk about the truth and they don't want to talk about what's really going on.
right. But and now we're willing to go even more in debt just to terrorize our own ourselves.
Right, and it's our damn money.
Yeah,
Make that make sense.
yeah. Our money is going to fund us getting terrorized by people that we're paying.
And our services are being taken away because we're paying for this bull crap.
And then yeah, so we can pay for it. We got to give up our health care. We got to
Yeah.
give up, help to the food, Social Security, all this other stuff got to be given
All
up.
social programs, all educational programs. It's not a program in Washington that they didn't touch and that they didn't take funds from.
But
If
Ice
they
Age is
didn't
getting
if they didn't
$50,000
eliminate it.
bonuses.
Remember, they eliminated a lot of government agencies also, all to fund this BS, in my opinion, allegedly.
It ain't even about where you get your news from. It's common sense. If you have a brain and you went to school, you finished high school, you could figure it out.
Kinds of numbers we are talking about here. We're talking about human beings being detained in these facilities. And it's been so interesting. Social Circle, Georgia, this is one of the latest ones. The entire center is expected to hold 10,000 detainees. That is more than twice
What's
the
up,
entire
common sense?
population of the town. In Mississippi, Roger Wicker voiced concerns. He's a Republican. He's saying that 8,500 detainees of a town of 1,300 would strain local infrastructure. Hutchinson, Texas, 10,000 people. The city's population is 6,000. First of all, I think my main question is, why are we trying to house, detain, lock up, whatever you want to call it, tens of thousands of people at one time?
Yeah.
Indefinitely, it seems.
Why do we need facilities with 10,000 beds if the point is to deport people? That's an interesting question. Unless they're not planning to deport
that is because they
people.
get due process.
It damn sure is the interesting question.
Unless they're not planning to
Do they
deport
get due
people. Do you think they're
process?
getting
Well, they're
due
supposed
process?
to.
They're supposed to.
And the courts are pushing back hard on it.
Yeah, the courts have said, in fact, that in at least 4,421 cases, more than 400 federal judges say that ICE is holding people illegally. They are not getting due process. That's a real issue.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's a discredit to DHS and to DOJ that they're not getting people into court. Part of the problem is there's not enough judges, there's not enough facilities here,
And
right?
spend money on that instead of buying huge
Yeah,
facilities
but here's the
to
thing.
house people.
But here's let's be realistic. For the next 3 years, the Trump administration is going to continue to deport people in large numbers, whether people like it or not. And they're going to be housed.
But you sound dumb because he's not even deporting people in large numbers now. The fact of the matter is that Obama still, in his first year, was able to deport more people without going through all of this this lawlessness, this chaos, this killing of American citizens in the middle of the street in broad daylight. This racist.
Don't forget about beating them up, terrorizing them,
Yeah.
shooting them with pepper ball, the pepper balls, and what's that gas
Right.
stuff?
Right. Exact. Tear
Whatever
gas
they
and.
got there was gas at first, wasn't it?
They were, I mean, just about all types. They even use one of those like some new type of military technology where it heats it up using some type of laser waves or something that make you force you to move back. So yeah, they've been using all types of stuff.
All type of war type shit on us.
Right. In the streets.
In the streets of the United States of this good old America.
Instead of going around
States of United States of America.
yeah, yeah. Instead of going around picking up illegals, y'all up here trying to go head to head against American citizens.
All right.
And filming the shit.
Like you're right, and like it's okay.
So, and I ain't talking about the citizens filming it. I ain't talking about the residents and the people protesting. I'm talking about them paying a fucking media crew to film all this shit, to document this.
Right. Like it's a trophy or a prize or something.
Yeah. But you still couldn't even deport the same number of illegal immigrants as Obama? You didn't spend all this money on all this production shit and all these theatrics and trying to scare the American people, which you failed miserably at, because ain't nobody scared of you. And you only making yourself look more pathetic because you can't bow down and accept the fact that, guess what, you're not above the American people. So yeah.
Yeah, he quietly deported over 3 million people. Joe Biden quietly deported what, a million? How many was Joe Biden number? Do you remember his number? Was it 2 million or 1.5 million or something like that?
Y'all put it in the chat what the number was for Biden when he deported people during his term.
Yeah, so people are getting deported. They've always been deported. It's just that this is a manufactured crisis. Is what this is. It was not a problem, really. It really wasn't. Because just, they're like, oh, they got these open borders, but Biden would turn them right back around and deport them. And that's why his numbers were so high.
He could have just deported the people. And he could have tried his best to deport as many people as he possibly could. He said that Biden brought so many people in, it shouldn't have even been that hard.
Right.
It shouldn't have been that hard. But
and the system wasn't really that broke. ICE was arresting people, and the Border Patrol was turning people back around or what have you. But like I said, like you said it in the beginning of the show, a lot of these crises are manufactured by Trump. He's making like he's acting like it's a problem, and then he's the hero, and he go and fix the problem that he caused.
Put it in the chat if you thought that there were Haitians going around eating your cats and your dogs. Just tell me that. Put it in the chat if you thought that Mexicans and illegal immigrants was coming into the country, stealing your corporate jobs, stealing any of your jobs. Who felt threatened in this chat by an illegal immigrant taking your job? Please just put it in the chat.
And now people are crying. The farms are crying. The construction business is crying. Hotel business, service business is crying. Everybody crying because they don't have no employees now. But they wanted them all gone.
Exactly. It was all hate from the beginning.
Yeah.
It never was a real issue.
Right.
This is all stemmed from hate. And like I said, white supremacy, white people wanting to of course, be the majority, be the supreme race again, and then you have a lot of minorities that want to align themselves with whiteness because they feel like, if I align myself with whiteness, then I can, I have a better chance at being successful in life. Fuck integrity, fuck values.
Shout out to Candace Owens.
Fuck morals. We don't need that. I need to be successful. I need the money. So I'm willing to sacrifice my integrity, anything just so you can put me on. And guess what? These people still get made fools.
Because they don't like them. They'll use them, but they don't really like them, and they don't, regard them as much.
And they look like idiots at the end of the day every time. And they not only do they look like idiots, the administration makes sure that you look like an idiot. Y'all saw what happened with Nicki Minaj.
Tim Scott, Byron Donalds. Byron Donalds and Tim Scott really was bojangling. They was dancing hard, thinking they was
They
gonna get them.
love and guess what? They love to see y'all dance and shuck and
Right.
jive. They love it. They
They,
love
they
it.
thought they was gonna get them a cabinet seat, but didn't happen. And you see how well at the end of the day, we'll play that video in just a second. But you're gonna
It ain't
see,
about us being racist. Trust me.
right? This is
I got plenty of white friends.
I do too.
It ain't about being racist and Mexican and Chinese and all and everything in
And
between.
none of that. It's about being right and being wrong.
It's right versus wrong.
That's all it's about.
somewhere while their cases play out. What's happening now is just as ugly. I mean,
Do you think I give a fuck about how I sound to a racist person themselves? Because you don't like us yourself. You okay with them picking up brown people just because of them they skin color, just because of their accent. So do you think I care about me sounding racist to somebody like you? Sir, think again.
people, ICE and DHS are renting space a lot of times in county jails, in local prisons. They're incredibly overcrowded. I'm not saying this is a great thing, but I'm saying as a reality, as a practical matter, if there's going to be mass arrests and deportations, which there are, like it or not, it's not necessarily a bad thing to have new facilities to house those people. So you're not just cramming them into criminal prisons at the state and county level.
But the facilities they're building are going to be, I mean, the one we know that's been built since we've been in this past administration is what they call Alligator Alcatraz, Rich, which is, you know, it's a human rights violation waiting to happen every single freaking day there. And that's what they're looking to do too. They won't let Congress people into the buildings where these facilities already exist. These are private organizations that are making bank off DHS.
Hello.
They're making so much money. We don't have money for
Listen.
education. We don't have money for healthcare. We don't have money for roads. We don't have money for any of that, but we have $38 billion to buy a whole bunch of buildings. And quite frankly, we're overpaying for them. DHS
Listen.
just bought an ICE detention warehouse for $128 million that sold for $29 million 2 years ago. So
Did y'all hear that? DHS just purchased a $129 million building that sold for $29 million just 2 years ago.
Mm. Everybody filling their pockets up.
Everybody getting rich. Except you in the chat defending MAGA. Y'all not getting rich. And for anybody on here, you know, I'm really don't even have to. I don't really have to defend this and I'm not. But I'm just gonna
Don't
say
worry about
this.
all that.
I'm just gonna say this. No, no,
you-
no. I'm just gonna say this, and I'm be done with it.
Okay.
There is no way that myself, my co-host, or really anybody even in this chat that's black could be racist because we have no power over the systems that control us. So, you know, if we don't like you because of the way that you treated us, I mean, how is that racist?
Yeah, you giving all these insults, but we're being racist because we're
If
speaking
we don't
back.
like how we being treated
Right.
and we talking up against it, now we're racist.
Yeah. That's just crazy. And you know, they that's what MAGA do. They gaslight you and then they cry victim. When you push back, they cry victim. As if they didn't do anything.
How dare you defend yourself? You're racist.
Right. And you don't
Why-
even have to be on this channel at the end of the day. There's a lot of other channels you can titty-tatty off to, titty-tattle on off down the road. You do not have to be over here.
Period. But y'all like it being over here. Because y'all know when we spitting facts.
Right.
Y'all
Y'all
just trying to
really want to hear the
gaslight.
truth. Yeah, they really want
Yeah.
to hear the truth is what it is. It's like the truth is kryptonite to them.
Right, right. They don't really want it. They don't like it, but they want it. They can't move away from it. You know, they don't like listening, but they like,
Right.
damn,
Yeah.
I
Like,
can't
"Damn, she
go.
stepped on my toe."
I might miss something. They might.
They may say something. They may give me some attention. Because that one while ago said, "Oh, Timothy, you know, oh, I made y'all stop y'all video." We stopped our video because we wanted to stop our video.
we spending $128 million on it today? These are questions that people need to answer because it seems very peculiar what we're doing, and none of it seems good.
One of the biggest issues is also what's happening with children who are being detained in a lot of cases much longer than previously allowed by law. They're really not supposed to be held more than 20 days, and many of them are being held far longer than that. The Times had a piece this weekend that about the Dilley facility, which is one of the most notorious. Last month, an 18-month-old Dilley was taken to a regional children's hospital with dangerously low blood oxygen levels after her parents had begged for weeks for someone at the facility
18
to address her illness. That's according to
Where's
an
the
emergency
outrage?
petition. A 35-year-old woman was
That
released
is so
last week.
sad.
She said medical staff initially refused to see her.
You say what?
This the part of the video I really don't like. This is so sad.
Right.
This is sickening.
Right. Where's the outrage on this though? They don't care.
After she began hemorrhaging profusely, soaking through 6 sanitary pads in an hour. Eventually, she was taken to a hospital. And last summer, a 32-year-old man died at the Florence Center after being detained at a facility for roughly 3 weeks. Now, that facility is being run by a company called Core Civic, and they have a statement saying, "Nothing matters more to Core Civic than the health and safety of the people in our care." He says the facilities routinely pass government inspections, and the reports of substandard care are simply not reflective of the hard work their people do. DHS simply says in a statement, it is a choice
They
to be
automatically
detained, and people can simply self-report.
pass the damn.
But I just ask, are we still good with holding children, some as young as 2 months old, for indefinite amounts of time in any kind of facility that is basically a jail?
Look, I don't like hearing those stories. I want everyone to be safe and get the health care and what they need. I think it is a reminder, though, that we frankly don't have the resources to provide healthcare for the millions of illegal people who.
So you need to. Okay, so this is the thing about it. They have 38 billion. How much have they spent on their budget? 38 billion. They just spent 129 billion dollars on a facility overpriced that cost 29 million 2 years before. So
And their total budget is $74 billion. And why?
You mean to tell me that y'all can't figure out a way to make sure that if y'all are detaining and holding these babies, not criminals, babies, if you're holding babies in your facility, you're saying that you can give ICE $50,000 bonuses, but you can't make sure that this baby has the proper medical attention that they need? That's insane. What are we doing now, y'all? Like, who is defending this?
Came in here, and on the other point of people sort of complaining about
You mean
these
in the jails or
detention
just in
centers,
general?
just in general. It's interesting. I mean, for years the media ignored these stories about people who were complaining, whether it was in Texas on a border state or Springfield, Ohio, of immigrants who were flooding their towns and they didn't have resources at all.
But you're being asked
and
about children in a
it's
detention
interesting
center,
that
not
that
about
was never
immigrants
covered.
taking healthcare.
And now
That was covered.
it
was covered.
It was ridiculed. People who.
It was definitely covered.
People who were trying to erect the border
The question
wall
is,
in their
should we be keeping
facility
children in
Texas.
detention facilities without the proper
Thank
health
you. Thank you. Exactly. Because what are you even talking about? She's trying to deflect on something that don't even have anything to do with the fact that this 18-year-old month baby
Right.
had to be rushed to the hospital. Women are in these facilities not getting any proper medical treatment and having to be rushed to the hospital because they're hemorrhaging.
Right. And what's wrong with treating people with some human dignity, even if you're gonna keep them locked up in this shit, in these places for whatever reason? Why can't you give them, be human to them? Why can't they have 3 nice meals a day, and just be treated like a human? Fresh, clean water, because I heard the water is contaminated, and a decent meal to eat, because after all, you did capture them, so don't complain about taking care of them.
And really, to tell you the truth, nobody would probably even really care if you guys were picking up the criminals, the hardened criminals, the ones that are committing all this heinous crime, deadly crime, and that's we wouldn't even probably care. But you're using our resources to abduct and kidnap little kids, in a lot of cases American citizens, and then you put them in facilities where you don't even take good care of their health, and they're not even criminals. You're treating these people like they're criminals, and they're not. So
I think I would like, my understanding is children are getting health care there. I think they should get, I'm saddened to hear of that report. If that's true, most of the reporting I've seen on these detention centers are that people are getting education and health care. So I, of course.
Well, look, I mean, I think both things can be true at the same time. It is.
We're getting education.
I don't
blame these
listen. I don't
parents,
want
though, for putting their children in this position.
Hold on. Look, there.
What?
There are at least some cases.
Wait. So now it's the parents' fault because when Trump got in office, they just so happened to be in the country, didn't know that they thought that they were trying to give their family a better life.
Right.
They thought that they were doing the right thing by their family by bringing them here and working hard, going to construction sites, taking care of people's kids.
And the American public, picking food for the American public in those fields.
Yeah, they thought they were coming to work hard and build a life for their family. And then your cold-hearted, demonic ass gonna come in here and say the parents shouldn't have put their kids in that situation?
All right.
What kind of cold-hearted shit is this? Is this what the Republican Party is right now?
I guess so. This is what she's saying. This is what some of the chat is saying. So I guess, they on board with all of it, Don't treat people like they're human beings.
Yeah. Unless they're white.
Just treat them like they're
unless
trash.
they're white.
Yeah.
If they're white, we know that they're, American.
Yeah, all right.
Listen, right.
If they
you
white,
white,
they
you
all
all
right.
right.
You all right.
In fact, come on down to America and we'll pay for your housing. We'll pay for your food. We'll pay for your room and board. If you're white.
That's a myth now, because them Afrikaners, they kind of upset right now.
We're going to talk about that too, though. But look, they sold
they saying they ain't got enough.
That's the advertisement to get here, though, because they want the white people here.
Yeah.
So, they'll get you here.
Mm-hmm.
But all the black and brown ones, y'all stay where y'all at. We don't need none of y'all. In fact, we send y'all back.
Mm-hmm. Where a family had, during the Biden administration, had come through the CBP One app. They had been inspected. They had gone through the application. They were told they could come into the country, and now they are being detained with their young child in a detention facility. Now, you can disagree with the actions of the Biden administration, but what is the point of punishing children for their parents doing something that was the illegal process at the time and putting them in, again, regardless of how many nurses they have or books they have in these facilities, these are jails.
Abby, when you're dealing with millions of people, there's always
What's the point of that?
Be horrific stories like this. That's not going to stop. I think a bigger.
And the funny thing about this is that Kevin O'Leary, immigrant family. Donald Trump, immigrant family. Stephen Miller, immigrant family. Melania Trump, immigrant. All these people come from immigrant families who none of us, and I'm pretty sure many of them did not come the complete legal way, but they worked hard while they were here. They kept, they stayed on the straight and narrow. They did what they had to do for their family. so that they can make the next generation better, and the next generation can be, a citizen, and they can be better, and they keep the that's what people do. That's what families do for each other.
Well, that's what America is all about. It's a group of different type people, different races, different backgrounds.
So do you know how Melania got here? Talking about they came here legally, stupid.
Yeah, sure they did. Sure they did. Probably need to check on allegedly, check with homeboy about that. The one that's no longer here.
And trust me, they all have stories. Even Rubio
Mm-hmm.
have stories of immigrants coming, their family coming here. They didn't say they came here legally, but they came here.
I don't think anybody came here listen, Linda.
Yeah.
These people done came over here and took these other people in, right? Because it was Indians here, right? First.
Ex- huh. America was built on illegal immigration.
Right. Okay, from the foundation, from the beginning.
Built
Okay.
on illegal
Immigrants
immigration.
sailed over here, took the land, and said, "This is home." So
Took
now,
us
so now, and
and
yeah,
took
then
us with y'all.
yeah, then
Made us
brought
accomplices.
us over here, and then said we need to go.
Yeah, yeah. And then after y'all done with us, y'all talking about, yeah, y'all can
Yeah,
go
we need
back
to
to
go.
go back where y'all came from.
Yeah,
Fuck
this
you
funny.
mean? This our shit, nah. We
Right,
came together.
right. We came here together, baby.
We got the same amount of skin in the game, and plus we got even more because we put this hoe together. What you mean? If
And invented
anybody leaving,
invented damn near everything that's in it.
right? If
Okay.
anybody leaving, it won't be the blacks. I guarantee you that.
Right.
issue.
But you realize that
Is there a
the
middle
scale
ground
is an
in
issue here,
Listen to
right?
this. I mean, I talked to a farmer from Iowa last week while I was in Florida, and he told me that if we threw out all of the people that work on his farms, we wouldn't eat anymore. And so what he's asking for is say, wait a second, if this person came into the country, is supporting a family, never broke a law, is there some kind of middle ground to help him get his papers as a citizen, perhaps, while he works and feeds America? That was his question. I said,
It's a good question, but
it is a
Trump
good question,
promised
and it makes
mass
sense.
deportation.
Remember, if you broke a law, if you actually are found in I don't know, ICE or some other law enforcement entity, and you clearly came here illegally and you broke a law, I'm sorry, you're gone. You may have to stop in one of these facilities, but Trump campaigned on this mandate, and the general public agreed when he came in that he would enforce these rules against illegal immigrants. But if the ones that did this came in illegally and broke the law, they have to be treated differently.
But Kevin, which one are you, though? Is it the man who has the farm?
And you know what? My thing is, it's the selective, like when it's okay for something to be legal and when it's okay for it not to be a big deal. Because
Uh-huh.
a 34 count felon, who cares about that?
Right. Right. And some more charges.
And some more his
Some
ties to the
ugly, some
Epstein
real nasty,
files.
ugly
Who gives a
charges.
fuck about that?
Yeah, who care about that? Who care about
But if you
everything?
came in here illegally, even though you was working every day, 10 hours a day to support your family, you came here illegally, you gotta go.
Yeah, God, I go. Even though you're paying $5 trillion to the economy of the United States and you ain't getting nothing
We
out of
won't
it.
have no illegal. No, we are a law-abiding country. We believe in the rule of law, even though we got a 34 count felon in the highest office of the land. Like, come on now. Like, but there's people out there who listens to this and they actually like, yes, exactly. Agreeing with this man, like he's saying something that's
I'll take
true.
him over that brown lady.
Yeah.
that have a
Oh.
Democrats want to see a fighter.
Did I mess it up again?
Democrats want to see a fighter. Decorum.
She said, decorum be damned.
The law, is there some kind of middle ground to help him get
Never
his
seen that,
papers
yeah.
as a citizen, perhaps,
Okay.
while he works and
Oh, I think we're towards the end there. Let's see.
Away, or is it the people that are coming in illegally and are committing crimes? Because those are two different people that you
that's
were
what I
just
just
talking
said.
about.
So you should.
You know, he was on The
make it
Apprentice with Trump,
clearly
too.
off mandate.
So
If committed
that's why he
crimes,
over here bojangling.
All right.
Meanwhile, find some middle ground to help the farmer feed everybody.
Immigration
Teslin,
reform.
go ahead.
That would be
Yes.
great.
I just want to I just want to stop pretending like we just treat everybody so well, in our prison system, including, those who are American citizens. There's a documentary right now, about the Alabama inmates. I'm sure you've seen on how they're being treated, within our facilities. Let's stop acting like there's not something called the
American
private.
citizens
Yes, American
that
citizens.
break the law and go to
No,
prison?
everybody doesn't always break the law and go to prison. See, that's where you've been so focused on the Dow and haven't been focused on what's actually happening.
Focus on breaking the law.
Baby, read him.
And I'm focused on something called due process and focus on people who get incarcerated before they're actually found guilty. Something called where people can't
So you're
afford
okay if
bail.
somebody murders
No, I
somebody
didn't say
and they
that.
shouldn't
I didn't
go
say
to
nothing
prison?
about no murder. Here you go
Well, how
again,
about
picking
that?
up. Well,
You said
I'll
break
give
the
you
law.
a real time.
All
No,
right,
I didn't
let me
say break
just let
the law.
Teslin finish.
I said that
We're almost
break
out
the
of
law,
time.
you go to prison.
everybody don't break the law and just go to prison. It doesn't work that way. It may work that way. It may work that way. Yeah, they absolutely
Do they
do.
get a trial first? I think
Breaking
they do,
news.
actually.
No, they don't. See, that's where you're
Oh,
getting confused.
we're not in
That's where
America anymore.
That's right. Now you finally got
Good
a
for
round
you.
of applause.
We saw this
Now
part,
we finally- the
but
country that I've
you
been
know, we
living
got
in,
to
my
look at it
ancestors have been
again.
in.
That is
We can
not
go
how
through-
America works.
No, see, that
That's
hasn't had
why-
worked for
All
you.
right, Kevin,
That's
Kevin.
how it hasn't worked for you.
Kevin,
See,
Right,
that goes back to the
exactly.
Is we
Right.
have an appellate
That's
law.
not
So
how
you have to-
America
you-
works.
See, that's the system that
See, exactly. He's so out of touch with what really goes on in America that do you not know that black people deal with this stuff on a daily? What are you talking about? That's not how America. That's exactly how the legal system works.
And he
When
know it.
Yeah, yeah.
He know it.
has
Kevin,
worked
I
for
don't
you.
break the
That's
law.
not the system
We
that
are
hasn't
getting
worked for me.
derailed. Just a
Yeah, because we're
second.
getting
Just a
derailed and we're
second.
really about to
Just
go
a
there.
second.
So let's
All right,
Oh,
we're just
oh,
talking
oh,
about
oh.
we're talking about a lot of different
What she say? I could do
about it
things
as well.
here. Okay.
Oh shit! Damn. You know what? We're gonna leave it there. We're gonna leave it there because that was actually
I love the way she was reading him, though.
she was letting him have it and didn't give not the first. Y'all know what? And I can appreciate. If y'all like the way that she handled O'Leary, hit the like button. Cause yeah. I
Yeah,
like
he don't live in our world, nothing, and he don't even live in the everyday world of the everyday person. You know what I mean? So he have no clue what's going on.
Right. Absolutely. And while we're talking about blacks and stuff that they deal with and racism and all that good stuff, let's talk about the fact that Trump was just ordered to restore the black history in the DC in the president's house, the historical site.
But first, on this President's Day, a major update in the fight over the slavery exhibit removed from the president's house site in Center City. I'm Yuki Washington.
And I'm Natasha Brown. A federal judge just ruled on a lawsuit in the city's favor, saying this exhibit must be restored. And CBS Philadelphia's Dan Snyder is live on Independence Mall. Dan, you've got the very latest.
Yeah, good evening to you guys. You know, this historic site was in part meant to honor the enslaved people who were held here. And aside from being President's Day, that ruling came down coincidentally at a time when dozens of people had gathered here rallying to demand that these exhibits be put back up. Now, while they are celebrating today, they also tell us that they don't believe their fight is over just yet. It was the moment Michael Cord with the Avenging the Ancestors Coalition announced to a crowd of dozens a federal judge sided with the city of Philadelphia and ordered all exhibits that were removed from the president's house to be put back.
But better than fighting the good fight is winning the good fight. And today we won.
The judge's ruling says the site must be restored to its standing on January 21st, the day before the exhibit was removed. It came after President Trump's executive order last year titled Restoring Truth and Sanity to American History. The news also came as people with the coalition were holding a President's Day rally, calling for the panels to be restored.
So this has been a very rewarding effort, but also it's crazy that in 2026 we still have to do this. In 2026 we still have to fight for the truth.
The Interior Department has not commented on today's ruling so far. However, in a statement last month, the department said in part they were not, quote, erasing history, and that, quote, the order directed a review of certain interpretive content to ensure parks tell a full and accurate story of American history. The department also said signage should be, quote, informed by current scholarship and expert review, not through a narrow ideological lens. But those who have fought for the restoration of this site say this is a true telling of history.
We understand that our history isn't great. Our history has blemishes, but we have to tell it because it is the history of this country. It is what made this country, and it is the fabric of this country.
Cord says he believes the federal government will appeal the decision, which could keep the displays down longer. In the meantime, people have taken to putting up their own signs.
I felt that it was a horrible thing that they would take our history down. I think it's everybody's history.
And while Cord believes there's still a fight ahead, he said he's optimistic about today's news.
So this tells me that there's some glimmer of hope for the future.
And you know, it's so funny because there's a lot of people, like even in the chat, who would say that this is like a black people worrying about, stuff that isn't really important, or I don't know what they would say. But the fact of the matter is that this is our president, a former president, and this is how he lived in the White House, or in the house that he was living in is while he was a president, waiting for the White House to be reconstructed or whatever the case may be. But this is a part of our history.
Right.
It's
that
not
slaves built.
right. It's not like it needs to be, just for black people. It is literally a part of our American history. Period. Full stop. That's it. That's what happened. It doesn't matter racist or not. It doesn't. It's what happened.
It's history. Is what happened. It's the truth. And why tear it down? Because people have a problem when people won't kneel down to the flag. When when people don't want to pledge their allegiance to the flag, then a lot of people have a problem with that. But they don't have a problem with you trying to erase some of the history of America.
Exactly. And George Washington was white. So
right.
And this was his history. This is how he lived in the president's house.
All right. It is what it is.
Of America.
Now, the judge's order also says the government cannot damage the displays or make any more changes here. There is no timetable for when the exhibits will be restored at this site. However, Cord does tell us he doesn't expect the federal government to move quickly as they go through a potential appeals process. For now, live at Independence Mall, Dan Snyder, we'll send it back to you.
All right, Dan, thank you very much. Democratic Congressman Dwight Evans from Philadelphia just released this statement saying this is a victory for all Philadelphians and Americans over a shameful attempt by the Trump-Vance administration to whitewash our history.
And I think that, let's not get it confused with, this is just a part of our history. That's all. It doesn't define black people, of course, but we don't want it to go away either.
But the fact that it had to go to court is astounding. Because even if you got it in your mind that that's what you wanted to do, and you went ahead and went through with it like you did, if the public says it's offensive to them and they want it back, why not put it back?
This is not your country. This is our country. This is the American people's country. This is not a country ruled by one person or one party.
Or one race.
Or one race. So let's look at, the blacks supporting Donald Trump. And I'm not even going to give this one an introduction. We're just going to watch it and we're going to talk about it.
Come on in. Thank you. Yes, you can. Thank you. That's so nice. I like her. Please.
I like him too.
One thing I like about him, he keeps it real, just like Grandma. I appreciate that because I can trust him because he tells exactly how he feels and what he thinks. Thank God for this president. I am filled, my cup runneth over. Because he allowed his constituents, his people to come to my house to interview me, to talk about the murder of my grandson. It seemed like nobody cared. I'm an advocate for murder. I marched, I rallied, I pulled out other families in the District of Columbia that had murders and did not have answers. Ooh. We marched and we rallied, and nobody heard me, Democrats. Get mad at me. Until this Republican sent his constituents, his people out there to interview me in my home. Have you ever heard of a thing?
I ain't gonna go too crazy yet, but y'all see what we got representing us. Y'all see it, and that's all I'm gonna say. I'm gonna keep playing till we get to the end.
Then they invited me twice before Congress to testify for the beautiful bill that's going to change crime in the district. If you kill somebody, okay, you take a life, you do life. Just that simple. If you do a harsh crime, you do harsh time. Just that simple. And then we need National Guard, and which we did years ago. He brought it on. I love him. I don't want to hear nothing you got to say about that racist stuff. And don't be looking at me on the news hating on me because I'm standing up for somebody that deserves to be standing up for. Get off the man's back. Let him do his job. He's doing the right thing. Back up off of him. And Grandma said it.
That shit was creepy. Look at this shit. Ugh.
Yeah.
Ugh. Y'all. First off, if y'all didn't understand half the stuff she was saying, y'all not the only ones. He get the most illiterate, homely looking, like this is what we got representing us right now, y'all? Is this what the black community is?
He keeps it real, just like Grandma.
Somebody need to go get that granny.
I appreciate that because I can trust him because he tells
somebody
exactly
go get
how
her.
he feels and what he thinks.
Come get y'all grandma, please.
So nothing about her gives me wise. Nothing about her gives me,
Well, I think she's grieving because she said her son was killed. Who she say, her son or her grandson? Somebody was killed. So he had somebody to investigate it, and so it's personal to her. So
yeah, that's right, and that's what he do though.
Yeah.
But even still, my thing is for Black History. You could have had somebody who could represent Black people in a way where we didn't look like the stereotypical Black woman, right? Because obviously she's screaming in the mic. She had a program with people that support her. She's still screaming.
And why somebody didn't get her a good wig to go up there to the White House is what I want.
Look at the wig she got on.
Yeah. Why somebody didn't get that woman a good wig?
This is not real. This isn't real. My grandma wasn't nothing like this.
No.
My grandma cooked everything from scratch. My grandma definitely wouldn't get up on here cooning like this.
No, sir.
To go against her own people.
I got a lot of stories about my grandma. I'm going to keep them to myself, though, but they not nice either. But what my grandma thought about all of this, both of them.
But what I'm saying is like this not the quintessential grandma that you were like this is the matriarch of the family. Hell
Mm-hmm.
no. This is some
Yeah.
hood grandma, you know, that probably grew up in the projects and her kids were
Thank God.
a product of the
Let me
project,
just thank you.
Mm-hmm.
which is the
Got
reason
caught
why
up.
what happened
Got
to
caught up.
exactly. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
please believe she not no mm-mm. And then
Right.
we got this. Now, is it just me or do it look like this man wore the same suit as Trump?
Well, it's a different color because his is brown.
Yeah, he can't afford what Trump
Yeah.
you know.
I think he went as close as he could.
Yeah. Yeah. Timu
Yeah,
Macy's.
yeah, he did Sheen as close as he did the closest thing he could do, and so that's all,
Yeah.
Thank you very much, Mr. President. First of all, we are living under the administration of the greatest president in our lifetime. And we have.
That's crazy that he even just had that come out his mouth. I can't even believe he said that. But that's another thing. I'm glad this person just said that. John, hallelujah. Right? But that's what a lot of that's what they banking on. They banking on the ignorance of black people who are emotionally moved because, they've been indoctrinated into the Baptist and this religious lifestyle that anytime you say the Lord or some, praise Jesus, they gotta, oh yes, thank you, Jesus. And they gonna go fall into whatever you say as long as you put the Lord in it. And it's sad because these people try to actually exploit that.
And the Lord be getting pimped hard for his purposes.
Be getting pimped hard for his
Right.
purposes.
They'll pimp Jesus in a heartbeat, don't think nothing about it.
The hottest country in our lifetime. And I want to make sure the mainstream media knows this because you represent the people who basically counter what the mainstream media has done. President Trump was the president who fully funded historically black colleges and universities. President Trump took the lead and performed criminal justice reform. President Trump made sure that we had opportunity zones.
What is he talking about?
This country is at a crossroads, and we have the right president at the right time. And if you want school choice, like I know you do, President Trump wants it. If you want law and order society and secure border, President Trump wants that. And more importantly,
that's the criminal in chief.
Right.
Because it's the greatest country on the planet.
Really?
Law and order for you, not him.
Wants law and order?
Decide American elections.
Look, law and order for him, not you.
Right. The one covering up the Trump Steam files wants law and order?
Right.
Let's just go ahead and do a quick fact check, guys.
Law for you and order for him.
Right. There you go. Let's just fact check that man, y'all. So just so y'all know, Obama's administration invested more than $4 billion in HBCUs. Biden invested the most at $16 billion for HBCUs. Trump secured $255 million, and for 2025, a total of $1.34 billion. Womp, womp, womp. What the hell? Trump ain't did nothing for black people. But let's see what else Trump has done for black people.
New York Times last year makes it so clear. Trump forced out the black chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, replaced her with a white guy. Trump forced out the first black librarian of Congress, replaced her with a white guy. Trump forced out first black woman to serve on the National Labor Relations Board, nominated 2 white guys. He forced out the first black chairman of the Federal Energy Regulatory Commission, replaced him with a white guy. He forced out the only black member of the National Transportation Safety Board, replaced him with a white guy. Trump is trying to fire Lisa Cook, the first black woman to serve on the Fed's Board of Governors, and those are just the people in government.
Damn. I guess Trump is for black people, ain't he?
He for them. I think he want them to go home and rest.
Yeah. This has been the most black people supporting president I've ever seen, huh? Well, let's talk about this Obama post that a lot of people thought was offensive.
The president is set to welcome the National Governors Association.
My bad, y'all. I didn't even put the clip in. Let me add it real quick.
But you know,
Trump says he will not apologize.
A number of Republicans are calling on you to
That's it.
apologize for that.
Uh-huh.
Is
Okay.
that something you're going to do?
Hey, Joe.
Make a mistake.
Y'all heard that? He said he ain't make a mistake.
President Trump says he will not apologize.
A number of Republicans are calling on you to apologize for that post. Is that something you're going to do?
No, I didn't make a mistake.
So yeah, he don't feel like he made a mistake.
Nope, he don't.
And so I mean, is that what we look for out of our president?
I don't.
We also have this clip because who was the guy that he decided that he didn't want to go to the thing? The one black guy.
Oh, Wes Moore.
Wes Moore.
He's a governor of Maryland.
So we're gonna watch this little clip of Wes Moore, and we're gonna end this show because I think y'all get the picture. I think y'all could definitely understand that Trump is probably not the biggest advocate for black and brown people.
Let
me Oh, wait a minute.
Who was that news clips from? Okay, shout out to News Channel 8. Is that 8 or?
You say what?
I was trying to figure out who was that news clip from, where Trump said he didn't care. He didn't make a mistake.
I don't see the thing.
You don't
on
see
here.
anything? Okay.
No.
So when he made that statement there, though, I began to question whether or not he was racist, because sometimes he kind of act like he is, sometimes he kind of act like he's not. He say he not, but his actions say he is. Let me put it that way.
Right. He can't actually come out and say it now.
Oh. He come out and say everything else, so
He said with his actions. That's what he said with.
Well, he said it when he said that he didn't do anything wrong and he's not apologizing. So
That's what I said. He
Yeah.
said it with his actions.
Yeah.
Said that you are not invited because, in his words, you're, quote, not worthy. Why do you think President Trump has singled you out?
Well, I can't speak to the president's heart. I can speak to his actions. And I do want to be clear to the president respectfully. You do not determine my worthiness. God determines my worthiness. The people of Maryland determine my worthiness. They are who I answer to, not him. And I've been very clear with the people of my state that I will work with anyone, but I will bow down to no one. And I think the president has a problem with that. And so I will work with cabinet secretaries and agency heads. I will work with anybody if it means that they're going to advance the issues for the people of Maryland. And especially if it's going to help to address some of the issues that I think are being inspired by the policies of the Trump-Vance administration. But if the point of the meeting that he singled me out and told me I'm disinvited from, but if the point of the meeting is to turn it into name calling or to follow what he did in this most recent tweet, which is full of lies and it's ignorant and it's unhinged, If the point of the meeting is that, then my answer to the president is very clear. Nah, I'm good.
Meaning you won't go.
Oh, I'm good. Oh, I will not go.
He said, I'm good.
Absolutely not.
I'm
Good.
good.
Good. All right, Wes. Wes say he good.
So yeah, what's good?
Yeah,
What's
I don't.
good?
I wouldn't go either. If you're gonna disinvite me over nothing because I'm a Democratic governor, because that's all it is. And it's not only that I feel like sometimes he show his racism, but he also hate Democrats. So anything he can do to stick it to the Democrats, then that's what he does. As if he's only the president for MAGA only.
Right, and that's the
That's why I have
thing.
a problem with him.
Right, it's not even about racism. It's about the fact that this man has no level of decorum. Like, he is willing to say anything about his opponent on camera. Like, how do you just
Right.
talk
No decorum at all.
crazy that way about Democrats, which is half the group that you have to serve as the president? So
And it's not just even Democratic states. Republican states are, all the states are having to sue him for their funding, which is crazy. Funding that Congress has already approved, it's already appropriated, and they should be able to get their money. And they're just waiting on Trump to, write a check. Do you know everybody's having to take him to court to do
just to get they
just to get their money for their states that they actually sent to him, because that's what they do. They collect all the states collect their income taxes and send it to Washington, and then Washington is supposed to distribute the funds, accordingly to the projects that's already been approved.
Well, yeah, I mean, I don't know. Y'all let us know. Are we team Trump, or are we team democracy, team United States,
Right.
team America first? What are we now? Because at this point, I don't think MAGA is showing that they're willing to bring the country forward. We are the laughing stock of the world. Our country is in the midst of complete and total chaos.
Well, he tells it best. He said it's a mess, but he tried to blame it on Joe Biden. But everything that he was complaining about with Joe Biden, actually he got it in magnified 10 times, times 10.
Right. I mean, at least Joe Biden was bringing the deficit down. We're gonna see what the national deficit is when Trump get out of office, because literally the deficit was going down
Mm-hmm.
with Biden in office. So hopefully
Right.
we still see the
And
same
people had
trend.
jobs. We were growing jobs, not getting rid of jobs.
Right.
Right.
So
I'm still trying to figure out, how do we, if we're deporting everybody and detaining everybody, why is the job number so low?
right.
Make that make sense.
And let me see if I can find the national debt real quick so we can just end with knowing where we're at. Let's see what we got. Let me see here. Okay. Dang, sheesh. Okay. Let me see if I can get. You know what? I'm because this chart that I'm
Well,
looking
somebody
at
put
right
it in
now.
the chat.
What?
Said it's $36.7 trillion debt.
Oh no, we at $37.64 trillion in debt right now.
Whoa.
Yeah. So
So they're a little, even their numbers is off, and that's still a lot. But they said it's not a depleting deficit.
what they mean? What they mean? It's not a depleting.
He's saying that the deficit is not going down.
Well, let me share this because it's not the one that I wanted to share,
Mm-hmm.
but I'm gonna share it anyway, just so you guys can see. Because let's see here.
And they're trying to say that the deficit was $36.7 trillion when Trump entered office. I don't think that's true.
All right, so here we go, y'all. This is the debt, and then this is where we're at right here. So this is remember 2017, 2018, 2020. This is all Trump. Remember 2019, 2018, 2019 the Trump. Y'all see the big ass. Y'all see how this is from 2019 to 2020. We went from 28 trillion to 33 trillion dollars in debt. And then again, we didn't really grow that much debt. But look, 2023, now the debt growing a little bit. So now we in 2025, we probably gonna have another spike. So, you know, again though, when Trump was in office, in 1 year, he increased the debt by like 6,000, $6 trillion. So, but yeah, that's all we got, y'all.
But that's okay though. He's Trump, so he needed that money.
Yeah, exactly. We didn't. We ain't need the money.
We didn't
Yeah,
need it, but he
yeah.
needed it. Yeah.
He could do much better with that money than American people can. Um, let's go ahead and go. I guess we could give our closing statements. I think that you guys already see what it is, right? Like I said, I can't believe that nobody don't already know what's going on. The fact that we just watching it and the fact that we just reporting on it, the fact that this is like a soap opera is insane to me. The fact that this is the biggest cover up in American history that we're actually witnessing right before our eyes and nobody's doing anything about it is insane to me. The fact that nobody's in jail because of Epstein, just not, I mean, we need at least one person in jail. But
Nobody else even arrested, investigated, in jail,
nothing
held accountable.
is insane.
All it is accusations.
It's
Accusations.
insane to me.
Mhm.
So I don't know what's going on with the world right now, y'all. I feel like I'm in the twilight zone, and you know,
What's up is down. What's down is up.
right, right.
Nobody believe in the Constitution anymore.
And you want to know what? I don't need to speak better. If our president can speak the way he speaks, then at this point, I don't even give a damn. Speak however you want to speak. More
Right.
power to Jasmine Crockett.
Mhm. Yeah.
So
Yeah. The Democrats need to go out there and speak to the people, and speak to them in a language that they can understand, and forget all this etiquette that they have and trying to offend people, because it is what it is. The truth is the truth, and if it's ugly, then so be it. You still got to tell the story, whether it's in favorable of you or not.
that's right.
So at the end
We
of the
don't care
day,
who the files implicate.
right,
Get rid of them all.
right. I don't care if you're Democrat, Republican, or independent. Independent. You did something wrong, then you did
You
the
need to be
crime. Go
dealt
do the
with.
time,
Right.
like all the other criminals have to do in America.
I know one thing: when the Democrats get in office,
Hmm.
I I mean, there shouldn't even be a Democrat in office unless they talking about making sure that they are lined. All these people are lined up in a courtroom getting indicted. Like we need everybody. I need life sentences for everybody.
Well, I have confidence in the Democrats because they did do that with the January 6 people. even though Trump, pardoned everybody, but still, they were held accountable for a minute. So I feel like that they're not going to have any choice but to run on that, in my
But let's
opinion,
be
because the
clear.
story is not going to go anywhere.
Let's be clear. Once these Trump Sting files get released, y'all,
hmm The
this
real
is my
files.
prediction. This is just how I feel. This is just how my what's on my mind, my spirit. I think Trump will be doing several life sentences if we get the unredacted files. And the messed up part about it is that he's been able to live his entire life,
Free
80 something years old, and get away with doing these
everything.
insane crimes. And
R-
now is engaged in the
Basically,
biggest cover up.
everything. Everything under the
Everything
sun.
under the sun, sacrifices, all types of anything that you could think of in a conspiracy theory is
Allegedly.
literally in these files. Not allegedly, you can see it even in the redacted photos. You see that it's going on in these files.
hmm
All the conspiracy theories that you guys thought were conspiracy theories, guess what?
No, he's saying, should we just arrest people and put them in jail? No, I think they ought to have a trial like everybody else. Just
A
do justice
public
like we,
trial.
like just do justice like we hold like you will be held for justice. That's the type of justice we want. Because if it was you in those files, and if it was like just a ring of people in the files, that's the everyday American public, RICO.
And just imagine, he been dead, Jeffrey Epstein.
Right.
They still not willing to release these files. Do you think that the ring is? Do you think this trafficking ring is dead? It stopped with
No,
Epstein?
no,
Do you think it's done?
no, it's not done.
Why y'all still covering these people up?
What are y'all hiding is what I want to know. What are y'all hiding? What's in those files? I'm interested now.
So we need the unredacted files
Mm-hmm.
because I
And a lot of people, I'm sorry to cut you off, but a lot of people were saying, why didn't Biden release the files? The next Democratic president will release the files. If the files don't get released now, they will be released later. I guarantee you that.
oh yeah, oh yes, and the more that he covers this up, the the more everybody's gonna make sure that the files are going to be released.
Mm-hmm.
Like nobody's getting in the office unless they're releasing the files. Like Republican, Democrat, it don't matter who you are, you're
Yeah.
not getting in office unless you release these files. So y'all let us know what y'all think. Hit the like button. Subscribe to the channels if you guys haven't done so. Off the record, of course, I said what I said.
Mm-hmm.
And make sure
I
when y'all
said what
type
I
it in,
underscore said.
I was just about to
Yeah.
look. I was just about to say it too. When you type it in, make sure you put the underscore. But and then
Yeah.
also
Somebody put
Fox.
my channel in the chat for me right quick, so that because it's still kind of hard to locate.
Hmm.
But yeah, these files not going nowhere, and we want answers. And whoever running for the Democratic Party, we're gonna need y'all to run on this. That you're gonna release these files, because somebody has to release these files, and justice has to be served. So you need to run on. You're gonna release the files, and you're gonna seek justice for these victims.
Right. Because there's too many people in the administration, in the political administration that was in these damn files. Too many. So we gonna stay we gonna stay investigating and hopefully we find what's going on with these files. We're
Mm-hmm.
gonna keep reporting what's going on with this administration. He gives us something to report on every day. So if y'all like our commentary and maybe if y'all want to be a part of it, we may even have like call-in shows. So y'all hit the subscribe button, like the video, and until the next show, We are out.
We are out.
Yeah, you know what time it is. No scripts, no filters, no fear. We said what we said and meant that. Off the record. Off the record, yeah, we keep it real. No filters, here we say what we feel. Politics, stories, truth on display. Come on. We talk that talk and our way. Off the record, Minion the God, let's go. Foxy 2 Roxy 3, she go hard.
I swear on everything, that is exactly what he said right here in the studio.
That is the funniest thing I have heard all week.
So hard. Busy with the facts she never missed. Nah. I said what I said, that's the twist. Off the record, come and catch the vibe. Where real ones talk and the truth survive. Late night truth, we don't just speak. We pull the roots from what they keep. From pain to progress, we light the flame. No spin, no script, we call it by name. Minion bring the vision, Foxy bring the flame. Lizzie drop a cease, it'll never be the same. I said what I said, say it loud, no shame. We taking truth global, remember the name. No apologies, no disguise. Just soul and purpose in our eyes. We move with power, bold and free. Say it loud, you gon' feel this energy. This the realest show you ever saw. Off the record. We said what we said. Off the record. Yeah. Yeah. We said what we said. Off the record.